Yes, guys. Good evening. I was about to say good afternoon. It's evening. I don't know what time it is. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the evening debate show. We're going to be talking about Liverpool's amazing attack in this show today, and also we'll preview the game against Wolves tomorrow afternoon. And joining me today, I've got welcome back to the channel, my man Ben. Ben, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good man. It's been a long time. This is actually the first stream I've been on in months, mate. To be honest, definitely the first one this season. So, yeah, looking forward to getting into it with you, mate.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Big up to everyone in the chat as well. Thank you for the kind messages and everyone after the video this afternoon. I appreciate it, love. I really do. And just let everyone know I'm in a good place. So I'm in a good place. Yeah, we're going to just talk about Liverpool's attack. It's this devastating attack that Arne Slot has put together. Ben, like 6 forwards now, all playing extremely well. He's got some players he needs to choose. But what we're going to talk about first is Luis Diaz. So Luis Diaz is in the form of his life as a Liverpool player so far. 5 goals already this season. I believe he scored 8 Premier League goals last season. So he's only 3 off that already. Obviously, he had a little interview with Sky Sports today.
Wait, Jamie, I've not seen the quotes, but please don't tell me he's mentioned Barcelona again.
No.
Thank God. Right, this is going to be my first reaction because I've been busy with work, so I've not seen
it. So Luis Diaz on Arne Slot. It basically, in quotes, he says, "I can say that this has been spectacular from the first day we met. The relationship and it continues to be very good. He's a very attentive to all things you need to improve, but will also praise you for the good things you do." That's one of the quotes he said. Well, also, he said about winning the Golden Boot. He said, "Why not? I hope I could be one of the Premier League top scorers. Now it's about continuing this good start, keeping my feet on the ground, staying calm and enjoying it." So there's a few quotes there from Luis Diaz today. I believe there's a full interview with Luis Diaz before the game tomorrow against Wolves. So that's something to look out for. But then a few quotes coming out from Luis Diaz. Ben, what do you think about the quotes he's saying? His relationship, he's obviously got a very good relationship, as he said straight away, with Arne Slot. And he's formed this season. What do you put it all down to, man?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the Slot thing, I remember when he was, like, we knew he was going to come in, and obviously a lot of people didn't really know of him, which is fine because no one really watches Feyenoord. So nobody really knew much about him unless you're one of these tacticos that has time on a Saturday to watch 100 different leagues. Me and you don't, Jamie. We just watch Liverpool. But I remember reading and hearing like his man management skills and the way you can, bring a team together and take a player under his wing is one of the reasons why we got him in. And I think, the man coming in after the man is always a very difficult job. And I think that was one of obviously he's got to be an incredible football manager, but I think those skills were almost as important because if he came in and like he didn't have that and the players didn't really get into what he was trying to do and didn't really get along with it, not like get along with him, but have that sort of like friendship that we saw with Klopp and all his players. If he didn't have that, then, that almost gives a player 20, 30, 40% more each game, I think, just knowing that the manager trusts you and believes in you no matter what. And it seems like that is the thing with Slot. We've seen so many players this season, and no shade on Klopp, but we've seen improvements from last season already. Luis Diaz, Gravenberch, they're the main two. And again, I don't think that was anything to do with Klopp. I just think it was too much to ask for this team to go for all 4 trophies in the end last season. The depth we had last season was good, but there was injuries, there was other factors as to why it didn't happen. But I just feel like Slot's come in. He's been himself. He's taken all the players under his wing. He's given everyone a chance. It's a clean slate for every player. And Luis Diaz last season, let's not kid ourselves. The numbers weren't great, but I did think the hate and, the way people went on about him was a bit unfair because he was still influencing games. He was still having an impact. Okay, maybe not to the level that we know he can, and he is at that level now. But the way people go on about him, like, let's not forget 90% of the Twitter fan base were twerking for Anthony Gordon and Luis Diaz to go to Barcelona. Let's not forget that. Don't get it wrong. I would have been all for Anthony Gordon coming in based on last season, but I distinctly remember saying I would not sell Luis Diaz to get him. I don't think that would be a good deal. It's not a good value. Like selling a player that is in his prime, in his peak, unless he desperately wanted to go to Barcelona, which I'm sure he probably does. It's just not going to happen for him because they can't afford it. Gordon this season has not been great, but I don't think that's him. I think it's a Newcastle thing, maybe the management. But the majority of the fan base in the summer would have been happy for Diaz to go and Gordon to come in. And now you look at the two players, and it's chalk and cheese. Who's the better? Right now, no one's to say Gordon can't go on to be that level, because I think he can. But yeah, the start that Diaz has had this season is unbelievable, and I just hope it continues, because this isn't me being pessimistic on Diaz, but he did start really good last season as well. I remember he was on started last season, but obviously we all know what happened with him in his personal life. So I'm just hoping now he's maybe put all those factors behind him. The injuries, hopefully they're behind him as well, because he has picked up a few injuries, and he can just kick on and be that. Like someone said it just there, when he's playing like this, he's £100 million player. That's the sort of player he's playing. Yeah. And let's just hope he can kick on this season and this form can become a consistent thing.
See, my issue with Luis Diaz since we bought him has always been the end product. And I was quite hard on Luis Diaz, because I'm hard on players that have got great technical ability. So I'm harder on them kind of players because I expect more from them. And sometimes when I talk about him, it sounds like I could be quite bad. It can be like I'm quite nasty about these players, but it's because they got so much ability. If I've got Milan Barros in my team, he's doing what he can. You know what I mean? I'm not, he's doing what he can. I know what his abilities are. But when I look at someone like Luis Diaz, I've always said it, the man is technically a superb footballer. I just need to see more from him, more assists or more goals, because the way we're an attack-minded football club. That's the way we play. We're attack-minded, especially under the Klopp years. Attack-minded, we expect goals from our forwards, no matter where they're playing. And with Diaz's ability and quality, I expected that. Now, I was one of them people who wouldn't have minded Anthony Gordon coming in if Diaz was going to go, because, if Diaz was going to continue his form from last season into this, I didn't think it was worth keeping him and get someone who's younger and fresher and maybe a bit hungrier in. But look, I'm glad to be proved wrong, because at this moment in time, he's doing extremely well. He's for me, he's the most on-form left winger in this country right now, without a shadow of a doubt. He's terrifying the opposition right now. And I don't know what it's down to. I think there's a little change in his game, Ben. I've noticed little changes in his game, like when he's got the ball, he seems a little bit more direct than he was last season. Like he's going towards the goal quicker instead of taking a longer way. I think last season he was playing a bit wider, touchline wide, and going towards goal, if you're going touchline wide and coming in, it's a long way to go. Where now he's sort of getting it, he's coming a bit deeper, getting the ball just a tad deeper and a little bit more central, that sort of inside left position. And I think that's helping him because he's getting into them nice areas. And also, I think what's helping him is he's got two midfielders behind him, McAllister and Gravenberch. So he doesn't have to backtrack as much as he did last season as well, which means he's ready for the counter attack. I don't know what you've seen in it, but little tweaks that I've seen this season in his game.
Yeah, as well. I think the Klopp wingers, we all know what Klopp wanted from his wingers: pace and power, and a finish at the end of it. They're what we had with Mane, they're what we had with Salah, and they're the two best wingers that I've ever seen at the club. And it would take an incredible player to come in and be better than either of them. But I feel like that wasn't Luis Diaz when we seen him at Porto. He was all about the flair and the creativity and all those kind of things. And you've seen it this season with Slot. His wingers aren't really just bombing down the wing all game. And that was a brilliant way to play when we had all those guys in the prime, because nobody could stop them in the 4-3-3. Bobby playing a bit deeper, the wingers just causing havoc on either side. It was unreal. Like the most fun I've ever had watching football. Well, obviously every manager is different and every manager is going to set up different. And Curtis Jones alluded to it at the start of the season, and people got onto him, and he was right, because we don't know how these players feel. Jones never said that Slot's better than Klopp. Jones never said that Slot's anywhere near close to Klopp. But what Jones said is the way that Slot wants to play benefits him more. And I think I can see that with Luis Diaz, because we know he's not like the quickest of there's an echo. Is that coming from my phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
On my phone. What the hell? That was mad. It's coming again. What's going on? All right, let me shut YouTube down. I just feel like we know he's not the quickest, and obviously since his injuries as well, I think they had a big part to play in that. Maybe taking a little bit of pace off him. So, like you say, getting up the pitch and just being in those positions anyway, linking up with the midfielders, being more intricate and getting more involved with the ball at his feet. I think, it's definitely more what Luis Diaz wants to do, 100%. So long may it continue. We're in the end of September now, which is crazy that we're here already. I just hope these international breaks, like when he flies back to Colombia and stuff like that, they're not going to
nightmare.
because there's another one coming up, isn't there, quite soon? So
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, he's in his stride now. The last thing we need is him going away and something happening. But hey, let me not put that into the atmosphere.
No, touch wood, everyone, touch wood. No, you're right. Like with the slot comments there, like you can tell some of the players they've come out. I've heard Trent last week come out and talked about this week talked about the defensive side of his game, and because it was similar comments to the way Curtis Jones spoke in pre-season, but everyone came for Curtis Jones and no one said anything about Trent. I don't know if you saw them comments, Ben.
Yeah.
And no one came for Trent, and it was similar. It was a similar kind of way he was speaking. That
I can tell you why it is. They just hate Curtis Jones. They just
they hate
reason to bash him.
That's all. They hate on Curtis. They hate on Curtis because it sounded like it didn't sound like that, but that's how people could take it. That Slot's teaching me how to defend where Jurgen didn't. It's not that. What Trent was saying is basically Slot wants me to play a little bit differently than Jurgen did. I'm more of a conventional right back, and because I'm more of a conventional right back, he's showing me different places that I've got to pick up, where to stand, where to be, and stuff like that. Because I'm going to be more conventional in that role.
Yeah.
And Trent seems to have taken it. Apart from the Forest game, in my opinion, I think Trent's been really good this season in that role. Obviously, he's not been getting us forward because we don't really cross as much, but in that conventional right back role, he's been excellent. That's what he meant by it. And with Curtis Jones, maybe the way Slot plays suits his game more. Doesn't mean that he didn't love playing under Jurgen, and I think that's where a lot of people they take these quotes and go and slander everyone, and it's a bit,
But
it's
Jamie, the people said that Klopp's system and the way that we were playing with Klopp has sort of got a bit stale. Teams have woken up to it, so we get the change. And obviously, look, no one want the Klopp to go. That day when I turned up in the office and I seen the video come through, I was like, oh, he's going to extend. Like it's an extension video, but it was him saying he's leaving. Nobody wanted him to go, but people did want change. People did want something to tweak. People did say that the 4-3-3 that we were playing with, teams know how to defend it. When we play against a team that parks the bus, we can't break it down. People wanted something to change. I'm not saying the manager. So now things have changed and the players are speaking on that change. It's like, well, now you can't change it. No, we don't want change. And it's like, what do you want? Because, like I said, the Curtis Jones one, it is literally just another stick to beat him with, because the same losers that sit on Twitter all day long, the guy hadn't even kicked a ball this season, and they were pounding me. A lot of them were pounding me saying, "Are you selling Jones? Do you want to sell Jones?" No, because I tell you why with Curtis Jones. I'm sorry, this has turned into a Curtis Jones rant. This is probably not where you wanted to go.
Get it out.
He's an amazing player to have around, and the reason why I say that is because nobody thinks Curtis Jones is going to go on to be the next Jude Bellingham. Nobody thinks he's going to be Steven Gerrard. Nobody thinks that his ceiling is ridiculously high. I think it is high, but it's not like, he's going to be one of the best midfielders in the world high. But what Curtis Jones does offer is an amazing player to come in for those games like we saw the other night. Granted, his first half wasn't great, but the whole team wasn't great in the first half. So no one else was getting the criticism. It was Curtis Jones. Second half, he actually got a really nice assist. And the reason why I will always be happy with those players is because I want to win every trophy that we can possibly win. People don't want to win the domestic cups. Do one. I want to win every trophy we can win. I want to go to Wembley with my brother again and win those trophies. And you know how we do that? By having players like Curtis Jones that can come in and do a job when needed. And that's what he does. That's literally what he does. The only worry with that is how long is he going to want to do that for? Because there's probably going to be a time where Jones thinks, you know what? I can be starting for Premier League clubs. I'm good enough. I'm better than a lot of players in the league. So will he stay? I don't know. But right now, we've got our midfield three. Everybody knows what that midfield three is. They've all been incredible at the start of the season. Soboslai, maybe not as much. Still been okay. But Jones and McAllister and Gravenberch unreal. And then you've got Jones, sitting patiently to come in and do a job when needed to. I don't understand the hate. I'm sorry that turned into a little rant, but I'm fed up of it, man. Like just those quotes. When those quotes came out, the first thing I thought of is he's going to get abuse now on Twitter, and that's exactly what happened.
No, look, I'm with you. Look, I think Curtis Jones maybe is that Marmite footballer. I think he's that kind of that player to a lot of people. I've always said it. Look, can you improve on Curtis Jones? Probably. Liverpool game tend to improve on Curtis Jones, not right now. So if you're not going to improve on Curtis Jones right now in the squad, you might as well keep Curtis Jones in your squad. Look, is he better than Gravenberch, McAllister, and that in the team right now? No. But is he good to come in when needed? And yeah, he's a squad player at this moment in time. That's what he is. He's not a first team player. I know he was a first team player last season, but last season's tactics and system suited more Curtis Jones in the way we played than it does right now. Playing that double pivot, that 10. Unless you go play Curtis in the 10, he can't really play that double pivot for me because he doesn't pass the ball quick enough. So, that's his position right now is on the bench. But look, he's a decent squad player to come in and do a job when needed. I hear what you're saying, but if the club can one day improve on Curtis Jones, they will improve on him. But right now we're not, so we might as well keep him and let him go right now. It don't make no sense letting him go. So yeah, just keep him for the time being. See where he goes. He's still a young lad. Although I've always said it, I think Harvey Elliott's got a higher ceiling than Curtis.
Don't get me started on Harvey. I could be all night talking about
I literally think Harvey would be perfect to play in that 10 where Szoboszlai is playing right now. And I think he's the player that would play there if he weren't injured. Like, I thought Harvey would have been perfect to come in that Nottingham Forest game.
100%.
Because he's got that final ball. So
I wanted Klopp to start Harvey more last season, and when Klopp left, or like towards the end, he actually said that one of his biggest regrets of the season was not starting Harvey Elliott more, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, because Curtis started pretty much all the time for his fit, didn't he?
Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Who, like, I don't want to go back to last season too much, but we all know when the going got tough towards the end, he didn't really step up to the plate, in my opinion. But this season has been okay. So.
Yeah, all Szoboszlai's best stuff is off the ball at the moment, ain't it? His defensive work. Big Ryan, appreciate it. Jamie, big up. You're the best Liverpool now, especially just keep up the good work. Stay happy as you decided we need you. Big up. And thank you very much for the super thanks earlier on as well. I appreciate that. I think that Jones is a level squad player. You can't see him being a regular in a title winning team. No, I think we all agree with that. Yeah. That's where we all stand. And when you have that, when we stand like that, I think it's look. If Liverpool want to improve on their midfield, eventually, I think they will, because I think Slot's after a particular kind of technical player in midfield. That's what he's after more, by the look of the way he's building his midfield. He wants technical footballers. I think Harvey Elliott will be in front of Curtis, and if a new transfer comes in, they'll probably be in front of Curtis as well. So that takes Curtis down the pecking order a little bit. But I don't know what Curtis's career is going to be. I don't know if he's going to be at Liverpool that much longer. I don't know. I think Curtis is in a little bit of a sticky place right now, because I don't think Curtis knows. Like we said last season, he's almost a regular. He was like almost, if I'm fit, I'm playing sort of thing. Now it's like, if I'm fit, I'm probably on the bench. And yeah, but as I say, I like Curtis.
It depends what he wants. Like, if he wants to stay at his boyhood club, be a squad player, yet you're still going to win trophies, then great, you can stick around, obviously. But if he wants to be a starter, then he probably would have to think about moving on to maybe like a Brighton, or I don't know, like a team like that, that's sort of on the edge of European football, because there's a lot of clubs I think that he could start for in the Premier League.
Yeah,
and I know some people probably don't think that, but I do. I think the quality that he has, he can easily be a starter. But look, let's see in it, because like at the end of the day, we've got him now. The window's not open for another 2 months, and like someone said, they made the Divock Origi comparison. You need players like that you can just bring in every now and again. So
definitely, that's what squads are about. It's definitely what squads are about. But look, Luis Diaz, Obviously, 5 goals this season, 3 off his total last season. And we got another left winger in Cody Gakpo, who's like, it looks like when one plays well and then the next one's playing, they play well, and then they see that player play well, and then they play well again. And yeah, Cody Gakpo, his performances this season when he's coming, I think have been excellent. You know, I thought his game against AC Milan, he played extremely well against AC Milan. And you feel he's unlucky to get dropped for Diaz, but Diaz is just in fire at the moment. Then Gakpo gets 2 goals against West Ham. They're totally different left wingers, Ben, ain't they? They're totally different in their approach.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Gakpo the other night, even before he scored the goal, I had him down as man of the match, and the goals were the icing on top of the cake. I think he's another player that people have been not like questioning in such of the quality, because we all know Gakpo's got the quality. I think it's just what his role is going to be, because even last season Klopp had him in midfield and stuff like that. And I saw today there was a video of the FIFA card reveals, and I watched it, and Gakpo's down as a striker, and he was quite confused by that. He was like, no. And some Liverpool fans even say that he should be the striker. So it's clear that Gakpo doesn't believe that, and he sees himself as a left winger. And yeah, he's got good competition now. And I think that's what, I think part of the problem with the Liverpool fan base is that we've never known how to deal with a squad, because we've never had a squad that's player for player as good as what we've had in the last couple of seasons. When have we ever had 6, like, not world class, but top attackers? We've got Salah, who is world class, and then the rest can be world class or just very good. We've never had that. We've had Mane, Firmino, Salah, and then the drop off. All due respect to these players, but Divock Origi, Xherdan Shaqiri, they had moments for us, some very good moments that have made them cult heroes. But come on, let's be honest. Like, we all sat here and looked at other teams' depths and thought, you know what? If we had that depth in our front line, we wouldn't have to just rely on Mo Salah. We wouldn't have to just rely on Sadio Mane. And now we've got it, and it's like, I'm loving it, because, like you say, it's like a battle, and I don't think there's going to be a set one. Like, everyone's got Luis Diaz in their fantasy team. I'm staying away from him, because sooner or later, Slot's just going to drop a curveball and start Gakpo on the left, or maybe even Chiesa on the left, because he can play on the left. And you just have no idea what forward's going to play each game. So, yeah, I'm loving it. It's amazing to see. I don't have a preference either, to be honest. I like all of them. Even Nunes can play down the left as well. I thought some of Nunes' best games were from the left. And I think that's the best position to be in. If you just rate them all and like them all, there's none of this player FC stuff. It's just like, just go out there, score some goals, make me happy sort of thing. And that's what they're doing right now. Gakpo was unreal against West Ham. Probably his best performance in a long, long time. And like you say, the healthy competition is what's going to spur us on this season. And if we do win anything, which I think we will, to be honest. I don't know what, but I think we can win a trophy this season 100%. It's going to be because of that competition. And that's exactly what it is. It's healthy. These guys aren't coming out with egos thinking I'm the best or I'm the best. They just want to be the best, but like, they're all just going about it in the right way. Like you said, one player sees one of the left wingers do a job, then the other one comes in and says, you know what, hold my beer sort of thing. So yeah, I love it. Good little battle. And we said for years, didn't we? We need something like that down the right-hand side as well, because it was just Harvey Elliott and Mo Salah. Now we've got that too. So yeah. The front line is something to worry about.
Yeah, definitely. Big up, Luke. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Apologies for being late.
That's all right, man. That's all right. It's all right. No, we're just talking about Diaz and Gakpo there. What's your appreciation of Diaz this season so far? What have you liked of him? What have you seen the changes of?
I think I like the fact that he's been a lot more clinical, because I think one of the big things that I think we all said last season, that when he got into those like big chances moments and he was scuffing them, I think everyone was a bit like, crap. And this is why a lot of us were like, yeah, get him gone, Barcelona, please pay X amount, we'll drive in there. But I think this season, I do think he's been a lot more clinical in front of goal. And I do think when he gets the ball, I've noticed that he seems to drive a lot more like towards goal, rather than what he was doing last season, was doing his tricks, his flicks out wide, and then he'd never get close to getting into the box. And we're a bit like, okay, cool, yeah, nice flicks and tricks that they show on like Twitter, but there's nothing on the end of it. I think this season he's been a lot more goal focused, and obviously it is the beginning of the season. But I think there was a quote from Slot saying about the teams are basically playing bottom half teams, so he's expected us to score goals.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
happens now when the opposition changed. Basically, he basically called United a shit team. Basically, just in the bottom half team, basically.
It did. It was hilarious. Yes. The thing I will say about Slot quickly is that, you know, if he's got something to say, he's just going to say it. That's what I've noticed already. You know, he's like, he doesn't hold anything back.
It's such a Dutch thing to do, but he's not like Eric Ten Hag, where it's just rubbish that comes out of his mouth. It's a lot straight to the point.
It's like the Kwanzaa thing as well after the first game. Like, he got a lot of heat for that, but you know what? It's probably the best thing that Kwanzaa could have heard on that day. Like, you know, I think there's a fine line. I think, you know, when Mourinho used to go in the press and call Luke Shaw fat, like that's just bang out of order. You don't do that. But I think just like generally being honest, like, yeah, Kwanzaa didn't have a good game today. That's why he came off. I don't think there's any harm in that. I think, you know, sometimes the players might need to read that and see that. And that's probably at the end of the day what's going to make Kwanzaa go on to be the player that we know he can be. So, yeah, I love it. I'm really enjoying hearing Slot speak when he says stuff like that.
And Kwanzaa came out after and said when the boss said that, it made him work on his game.
Yeah.
So like,
he got injured as soon as he did the extra session. He got injured afterwards.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do love it. He said it about Szoboszlai. He said if he's going to play number 10 for Liverpool, he needs more goals than that. You know, he's not hiding the fact that he believes these players can be better. That's what I like about it. When he spoke about Diaz, we need Diaz to score more goals and create more for us because he's that quality of a footballer. He's basically saying these players are very good that I've got, and I think they can achieve this, this, and this. He's not afraid to say it, and I like it. But Cody Gakpo as well. He's been he's got a, you know, Cody put on a performance on midweek. He's got a bit of a dilemma there, Luke. I mean, does Slot just keep with the same front three? Does Luis Diaz just play and he's his number one at the moment? But no matter how well Cody's playing, but as soon as Cody needs to come in, he knows he can go.
I think we'll see Cody probably start most of the Champions League games, and then Diaz play most of the league games. It's a great problem to have. I'm so glad I'm not making that decision every week, telling one of them, you know, one scores 2 goals 1 week. Sorry, getting dropped. The other one starts. They score 2 goals. He's probably gonna have to tell Gakpo, yeah, you're sitting out this week. Diaz will probably score 2 goals, and then it'll be rinse and repeat. So I do think they'll alternate every game. One will play in the league, one will play in the Champions League. I thought Gakpo was a bit of a slow burn yesterday. I do think he didn't start off well, but I think he grew into the game.
Yeah, it does.
And then he was excellent at the end when he scored the 2 goals. But I thought he was a bit of a slow burn to start off with.
That is like Diaz is more electric. That's what Diaz is. He's more electric. And in Gakpo, the thing with Gakpo gets me, Ben, is that he don't look the quickest, but he just runs away from players though. He's got that long stride, don't he?
I was going to say, I think it's them long dangly legs. And I think he's deceivingly quick as well. Like, he doesn't look it, but I think, you know, like, just the way he runs, he can get away from players.
When he got that, when he put the assist on, he literally did the stutter and then he accelerated away. I was watching it going, oh, I did not know that he had that little stop.
And you know what I liked about midweek as well, and this is not a dig at Klopp or anything like that, but I did like the fact that Slot just put in, you know, round pegs in round holes. So he played Jota, Darwin, Chiesa and Gakpo. And I remember when that came out, everyone's like, well, who's going to play in the 10 and all that? And he just played 4-4-2. And he played the 2 up front, the right winger and Gakpo on the left. So I do like the fact that he's trying to keep players more in their natural position, Ben, that gets the best out of them when they play in their natural position as well.
Yeah, of course. And look, like I said before, Gakpo last season was all over the shop in terms of where Klopp wanted him to play. And I think that's probably a testament to him because of how good he's at football, how he can read a game. You know, we was just talking about how, you know, he's not the quickest, but he's deceivingly quick. And I think just because of how good he is with the ball at his feet as well, when he goes on those runs, it helps a lot because it sticks to him like glue. Same with Gravenberch, and I think, like Luke said, I think it's just a Dutch thing, to be honest, because they're so elegant. Like Virgil van Dijk as well, for a centre back, his technical ability is just a joke. So, look, someone put it in the chat as well. I don't think we've seen 100% of Gakpo yet. Still developing. He's probably on 80%. I 100% agree. He came in halfway through his first season. Last season was a bit of a, sort of you come in and play where we're short or where we need a player sort of thing. Maybe this is the time now where he really kicks on and we actually see how good he can be, how good he can go on to, because he's 25. Like forwards, I think peak at around 27, 28. So he's still relatively, he's not a kid or anything, but he's still relatively young. So, I think that comment's absolutely bang on. I don't think we've seen anywhere near close to the best of Gakpo.
I think I saw something on Twitter. Don't know how true it is. That it's got 180 GA for club and country. Cody Gakpo at 25.
Yeah, it's quite
pretty
impressive.
good.
Every time I watch the Netherlands, he is their best player. It's like every time I watch him.
Probably the best player.
Yeah, I think Cody, like if he can play the way he is right now and carries on Luis Diaz the way they carry on. Look, we've arguably got on form right now the two best left wingers in the league. And you got a choice to make, which is a great choice. Let's talk about the new boy, Federico Chiesa. Had his first start on Wednesday. I thought he was a little bit quiet. I didn't think that was all his own fault. I don't think we played a lot down the left, didn't we, against West Ham? So we didn't get him into the game. But Ben, little bits and pieces that you saw of Chiesa. Are you happy with the signing?
I'm very happy with the signing. Yeah, I think he's. We cast our minds back to the terrible time when football was played with no fans in the ground. He was the man everyone wanted in the forward. It was him and Jadon Sancho, the two players. And obviously he's had his injury problems. He's not really been at that level since. I think he's had moments and he's got a few goals and assists each season, but he's never really gone on to be that player that he was destined to be. But I think for us, for exactly what we need, as long as he's not coming in to replace Mo Salah, because I think that would be a huge risk given his injury record and, he's not really played much football over the last year. I think he's perfect for that sort of role. And he seems absolutely buzzing. I've seen so many clips and pictures of that guy since he signed for us. He's smiling.
He's just smiling. He's just
smiling. Signed for us. And they're the players you want, the ones that just want to be here. No shade at Zubimendi there. But yeah, I'm buzzing with him. I think the game the other night, I didn't see enough to make a judgment on him. I don't think that was his fault either, because I think one of the things I've noticed with Slot is obviously the fullbacks going inside a bit more. And I don't think that suits Conor Bradley. So I don't think Chiesa was getting anywhere near as the ball. So I think he actually had to switch wings at sometimes to get more of the ball and to be more of a threat. Maybe that's something they work on. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I thought it was okay. He got the bicycle kick assist, which is 100% a shot. But we're going to be shameless and say it was the best assist of the season. But he did the nutmeg as well, which reminded me of Luis Suarez. Which is good.
He looked a lot more comfortable when he drifted out there, to be honest. I thought,
100%.
A lot more comfortable than that.
Yeah, the early signs are there that he's going to be good, and like we say, it's just competition, isn't it? So it's never a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not. Luke, your opinions on Chiesa so far?
Yeah, I think I think he's definitely gonna be a slow burn. I think because he was basically, as soon as Motta got in at Juve, he was like, yeah, see you later. So I don't think he's had any preseason whatsoever.
No, he didn't.
So I do think he'll be drips and drabs fed in throughout the season. I do see him probably starting the Carabao Cup matches, FA Cup matches, but I think we'll probably see him probably start more games probably in the New Year period to let him get up to speed. I think between now and New Year, I think he'll be drip fed in really, to give Mo rest when we're winning, rather than letting Salah play the whole game. But I thought he was okay against West Ham. Of course, the nutmeg was good. The bicycle kick assist was good. But I think because the way we were playing on the right-hand side, he didn't really get into the game as much as I thought he was, which is not his fault. Because I think I do agree with you, Ben. Bradley coming inside more didn't really suit Bradley or Chiesa. But I think it'll be a good squad. I think he's a squad rotation option, to be honest. And I think, hey, not bad for about 10, 12 million, because I swear weren't Liverpool ready to spend 100 million on him like literally 3 years ago after the Euros?
The whole world was, I think. Let's face it. He at that Euros. When did he get player of the tournament as well? He was he was like one of the most wanted wingers in the world. He was easily £100 million player back then. Now, if Liverpool can get close to that Chiesa again, then we're laughing, ain't we? For 10 million, it's 12 million. It's mad. It's crazy bit of business.
Guaranteed money back as well. Say you move him on in a couple of years when he's 29 or so. Like you're not going to lose money on it. So
if he does get homesick and says I want to go back to Italy, and he has a good couple of years, we definitely got money back and more.
There's some great Italian restaurants in Liverpool. He'll be fine.
Shame there's no good Spanish ones for that other guy.
Yeah, we ain't got no mountains, unfortunately. We've got no mountains.
No mountains.
I want to talk about Diogo Jota. So Jota, I thought, has had a bit of a mixed start to the season. I know he's got goals, and he showed what he's about in midweek. He's a predator in the box. He's quite clinical. Some of it. But the way he started, I don't know the way we play at the moment. And I think as the players learn more of what Slot wants them to do as the season goes on, everyone will get a bit more flexible with it and be a bit more relaxed about it. But Ben, I don't know if the way we're playing at the moment quite suits the Jota in the Klopp days when it was a bit more, a bit more attack thrusted, a bit more counter pressing to the way we're playing now, because he does come deep in the slot. For when he's that middle striker, plays with his back to goal quite a lot, which I don't think is his strength. His strength is ghosting into the box and getting on the end of things, ain't it? That's his strength. So I think it's a bit mixed from him so far this season.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the West Ham game was brilliant because I think he needed that. I was calling for a change, whether it be Nunes or whatever, to come in. People didn't want that, and that's fine. Everyone's got their own opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer if you're not really doing your job, you should be out of the team, which is why we spoke earlier about when last season I wanted Elliott to come in for Szoboszlai quite a lot towards the back end of it. So everyone's got their own opinion and agenda, of course, but I've always said, like, if you're not doing your job, change it up. And I think the West Ham game, like I say, was perfect for Jota to come in, do his job, get his confidence back. And just show everyone, like, these forwards are scoring goals and contributing. Now it's my turn, sort of thing. And yeah, I love Jota. I always have done. I think since we signed him from Wolves, at the time, no one really understood why we were going for him because obviously there's a bit of depth, but it was a decent fee. I think about
44 mil.
Yeah, for Diogo Jota at that time, he not really scored many Premier League goals. I think he got like 6 or 7 in the season we signed him. But he's just shown everyone how clinical he is, how important he is. He can score headers, he can score volleys, he's weak foot. He can link up play. He's pretty much the complete forward. He just needs to find that consistency this season. And I have no doubts that after that game against West Ham, that will be the one for him where he's like, yeah, I've arrived now, sort of thing. So I think he starts again at the weekend, to be honest. I think he does.
Yeah, big up Mike in the chat. Gakpo has 99 shot power. That is the one thing we didn't mention about Gakpo. He has got the hardest shot out of all our forwards.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And, he's got a good shot as well. Big up Mike. Big up Colin in the chat as well. You're doing good, fella. With Jota, Luke, we saw it on midweek, 2 goals in the right position. When he's in the box on the end of things, he's probably, apart from Salah, our best goal scorer. I think he's our most
best goal scorer.
I think he's our most clinical striker in the box. But it's the outside of the box stuff, ain't it? Right. I think people have always said this about Jota. It's his link-up play, and that sort of part of his game that might not
I
be.
I do think it has gotten better since we've signed him. I do think it has improved over the years we've had him. And I think the West Ham game, I believe he played number 10. I think Slot came out and said that he played number 10, really.
Yeah, it looked 4-4-2 on the telly, didn't it? But it looked like he went back a bit.
But I think the biggest criticism that I've probably had of him this season, obviously the goals have, well, apart from the West Ham game, because in the Ipswich game, he did miss a glorious chance before he scored the first one, which, to be honest, like when I look back at the Ipswich goal, he shanked that shot. So I was stunned that it went in because he shanked it into the corner. But I do think he's done a lot of the dog work without getting the goals. But there has been some moments where we've like gone, Jota should probably be finishing it. He sort of missed the opportunity. I think the one that stands out was the AC Milan game, where he could have squared it to, I think it was Gakpo in the middle for a tap-in. Instead, he just went for some, I don't know what, like some shot and just shanked it out for a goal kick. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jota will get his goals this season. I think the more understanding they get as well. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Obviously, Mo, what is he on? 8GA already, Ben?
I'll have a look. Get it right now.
What's he on already? I mean,
7, isn't he?
7. I'm not sure. It's just
Mo Salah is on 8. 4 goals, 4 assists in 7 games.
There you go. It's
only Haaland wasn't in the league, I would be going, oh my God, this is so good.
It's Mo, ain't it? Look, I'm going to be honest here. I actually thought his last 2 Premier League games is not the best. I don't think he looked at his sharpest, Ben, but again, he scores goals or he creates now. Like if he ain't scoring goals, he's creating opportunities. He's creating goals for others. He's become so integral to our side, Ben, ain't he?
Yeah, he's the number one for me. Forwards that we've seen in my lifetime. I'm 27, and I think technically we might have had better. Like Luis Suarez, in terms of a football player, is the best forward I've ever seen at Liverpool, and I think he will be the best ever because that I can see. I don't think anyone comes in and is a better football player than Luis Suarez. But in terms of just consistency and just going season after season after season, yeah, he's number one. And I don't think there's a close second for me. Just in my lifetime, obviously older people will be able to tell you about Kenny Dalglish, Sheehan Rush and all of that, Robbie Fowler, even though I can vaguely remember. But yeah, I think he's just every single season, time and time again. 27, he looks 40. Wow. That's really pissed me off. Fair enough. Salah is just the epitome of what we do, and he's a leader. He's in that leadership group now. He's out of contract next summer, so obviously we need to know what he wants to do, whether he wants to stay here, whether he thinks he can win more trophies with us, or whether the time has come for him to make that big move to Saudi, which, if it happens, it happens. The club moves on, it always will. It will be sad to see a legend go, but do you want me to get my license? Actually, I'm not going to get my license.
I thought they were talking about me for a second. I thought they were talking about me.
If you're young,
4th of July, 1997.
If you're young and grow a beard, everyone just thinks you're a lot older.
It's mad.
But Salah. I look 10.
Salah just ridiculous every season. Like you said, Jamie, I think that side of his game always gets overlooked because of the goals he scores. His link-up play and the passes he plays always underrated and goes under the radar. That Travella pass outside of the foot, he's unreal. And yeah, I hope there's many more chapters of this book left for Mo Salah because I think he can retire here 3-4 years. Not 3-4 years, 5, 6, 7 years, because his physique, the way he looks after his body, he can play till his late 30s. So yeah, that's what I hope. And people are like, sell Mo Salah now, cash in and get someone else. There's no one out there that's going to be anywhere near half as good as Mo Salah at 32 years old. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, it's better if we just keep him for renew his contract for another 3-4 years, see what he's like in that time. And see if he retires here. I don't want him to go.
Well, the right wing market is pretty slim. If you're looking for quality in a way, if you're looking for quality,
needy, to be honest.
Yeah, if you're looking for that quality that you want, I mean, look, if Salah left this summer, which I don't want him to, I want him, as Ben said, I'd love him to retire at Liverpool. I think he's, even if he starts to dip in his performances and his form, and he can't be the player he once was, I think there's always a place for him in this team. You can play him in the 10 as a creative player. If he can't, if he can't.
I always say play him up front, but that's
there's plenty of things you could do him, Mo. And also, he's great for the youngsters. Look at Harvey Elliott. Look how Harvey talks about him. Look how he told Harvey to diet. He told him told him what to diet, how to work out, how to look after his body better. He's a great representation of our football club, and and it'd be madness for us not to sign him up. It really would. But look, let's get on to the Wolves game, guys. So I don't know if you've heard. So the Wolves manager has come out and basically said they've got a massive virus problem going through their squad. Everyone's really ill, and he might have to play youngsters in the game against Liverpool. So, Luke, does this mean that Wolves are going to have the game of the season?
Probably, most likely, because I've been keeping an eye on it whilst I've been at work today, and I think I saw something like a high-rated academy player. He was like Alfie Pond set to make his first start tomorrow if players don't come back. I'm thinking, oh, he's going to have the game of his life, isn't he?
You just got to bully him. You just got to lay it on him straight away.
Lay it on him quickly.
Just bully him. 90 minutes. Make it hell.
I have to say, I have seen like stories like this before, where it's, oh my God, bout of sickness right through the camp. Can be playing youngsters. The game comes. Oh,
everyone's
as if by magic. Yeah.
But does it matter?
I don't.
I mean, with Wolves, should we be worried if it's their first? Like, I have to be real here. Wolves are not very good right now. I think they got 1 point.
Wolves have been unlucky at points this season where they probably shouldn't be where they are. So I'm not going to be taking them lightly, but we should be picking up the 3 points at Wolves.
Sorry.
You know what? Because it's Emil Heskey, I'll let you off.
Oh man, that's just hilarious. Go on, Luke.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I forgot
what I was going to say now. No. Like even if Wolves did have their best team, we should be winning this game. Even though that last season Wolves, gave us a bit of a scare, but I think Wolves. I think their position in the table doesn't show a true reflection about how they've played at points. Because at points they've played very well. They probably deserved more points than they should have. But that opening set of games, they've had like Arsenal. Is it like Arsenal, Villa? I'm trying to think who else. They've had a really difficult opening set to the opening set of games, and they got battered by Chelsea as well. So,
yeah, they've literally lost. They've lost 4 out of their 5 opening games and drawing the other one. So they lost 2-0 Arsenal on the opening day. They lost 6-2 to Chelsea in their second game. They got the draw against Nottingham Forest in their third game. They lost to Newcastle 2-1, and they lost to Aston Villa 3-1. And I think they were 1-0 up in that game as well.
Yeah. Villa turned it.
I'm looking at them right now. They're bottom of the Premier League table. They got 1 point. They've only scored 5 goals, but they conceded 14, Ben. And, all this talk about the viruses going around the camp and like all this and that, it shouldn't really matter to this Liverpool team that's on fire at the moment, and they should be beating this side.
Yeah, 100%. It shouldn't matter what team they put out tomorrow. If there's a virus, I hope they all recover and they're all well in time, but it's a good thing for us because we should be able to win even more convincingly. But yeah, you're right. I think this team has shown that, the teams that have played so far, we can beat. Obviously, the Forest one was a bit of a blip, but teams like Wolves, we should be going there. It's 5:30, so we can't even use the 12:30 excuse for this one. Just go there, get the job done, get home. Try not to pick up the virus that they've got going around, sort of thing. But like I said when Luke was speaking, if they do play kids, I'm sorry, but you've just got to go and bully them all game. You've got to show them this is the Premier League. You take no prisoners here. Don't dilly and dally and be like, oh, they've just go in straight away from them. Like as soon as he kicks off, just go in straight away and just play how we know we can, and we should get the 3 points. And yeah, I think it will probably be the team that he's been picking for the Premier League, that standard one that he didn't change for about 5 games. I think that will be the team that plays tomorrow. So I don't really have any concerns, to be honest.
No. Big up, K-Mac. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hope everyone's well.
Well, good,
Aren't we glad Neto's not there as well?
Yeah, no Neto.
I think
Kilman as well. Kilman's very good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what
I love that. Stats incoming. Sorry.
Go on.
I'm not going to roll with him. I'm not going to roll with him now.
What's your view of this upcoming game, my man?
I mean, to be fair, this is normally a banana skin. Wolves away. They are a bit of a bogey side. I don't know. They've had a really horrible start. Haven't they played Tottenham as well? Didn't they play Tottenham as well? They've had five. They've had 4 or 5 really, really bad games, and then they get us as well. I think it'll be another 2-0, 3-0 win. If I'm honest, they're not scoring goals either.
No,
anymore. They normally score quite a few goals, but they don't seem to be scoring many goals either. But Luke's right. They haven't been played off the park in a lot of the games.
Yeah.
But they just haven't been able to win.
If we score first, then it's good night, Vienna.
It's demoralising, that, isn't it? Another one, another defeat. Yeah.
Winning the clean sheet. That's all I want. Clean sheets.
Clean sheets, man. Clean sheets. Yeah, I
Clean
mean,
sheets.
Matthews, is it? What? How do you say his name? The striker.
It's Cunha.
Cunha, that's it.
Cunha.
Yeah, he's played
Very good
pretty
player.
well. Him and Lamina have played pretty well, according to SofaScore. Obviously,
Cunha is a player that I wouldn't mind signing in the future, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's a bit hot and cold, though, isn't he? Don't you think he's a bit hot and cold? He can score 2 or 3 goals, and then he just goes missing for 10 games with nothing.
Yeah, true.
They've got quite a few players like that.
They certainly have. I mean, Wolves, they are an interesting team. I mean, this is arguably the team they might even start with if they got everyone fit. That is. Where's it gone? Did we find it? What the hell's it gone? Just disappeared.
Click on
top players.
Matches, isn't it? Go matches.
There you go. It's because I clicked on Zoom so fast that it went. Where's it bloody go?
It's at the bottom. It should be at the bottom. The game should be at the bottom.
There you go. Yeah, because
and then you can click on the game.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Right, there you go. Lineups is where I was at. Right. This just disappeared on me. So look, Nelson Semedo, Altonori. A lot of people wanted Altonori in the summer. Gone a bit quiet. Altonori, I've always thought good going forward. Not the greatest defensively. That fair to say?
Yeah.
You guys think
Probably more of those modern day fullbacks, isn't
he? The crazy thing about him, I hope I haven't just voodooed it, by the way. He does normally play really well against Salah. Salah doesn't have great games against him. So I hope I haven't just fixed it. Or maybe I just sent it the opposite way.
Yeah, that's it.
Salah's going to have a great game now.
Obviously, there's someone in their defensive midfield area that was very interesting.
It's an interesting one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, Andre.
Interesting
you think
if he plays?
Do you think he's just gonna say to Andre, just Mark Gravenberch? Just Mark Gravenberch. What do you think?
Well, that's how Forest played, weren't it? Gibbs White.
That's what Forest did.
Yeah, Gibbs White stood on him.
Or stick João Gomez on them.
The difference here, though, is Forest did that away from home when it's easier to do. When you're the home team, there's a bit more. It's a bit harder to do it when you're the home team. I'm not sure. You got obviously João Gomez there, player Liverpool linked with Lamina. I mean, you look at their team and you wonder why they're bottom of the table. You know, so something's not quite right defensively with
because of those two centre backs, mate.
Yeah, they're not. And if
I think Totti's out. Totti's out, isn't he? Totti's out. I think the other guy's out.
I think Dawson and Totti are. I think Dawson and Totti are meant to miss this game. So I don't know.
Wow.
To be fair, we should be winning this game quite comfortably, shouldn't we? Guys?
Even if that's is that, to be fair, I saw that Larson guy won. What game was it? He looked really good. I can't remember what game it was.
Yeah.
But you look like a real threat.
It was before Chelsea. I think it was before Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting game. And at the end of the day, Liverpool. I know what the discourse is. We haven't played any top teams yet, but Liverpool can only win what's in front of them, beat who's in front of them, and we beat Wolves on the weekend, guys. And you look at a really.
We did go to AC Milan and win as well.
I've been saying that, Ben. That game I think's gone under the radar a little bit.
Massively, mate. Massively.
Totally under the radar, that game.
Because we came off the Nottingham Forest loss, and I remember a lot of Liverpool fans watching. We all watched it, and a lot of Liverpool fans thought we were going to lose to AC Milan. We're going to struggle, and we've overrated Slot, all this and that. And then we pretty much dominated them. Didn't they have two? They had 2 shots the whole game, didn't they?
Yeah. This is what happens when a new manager comes in. Like these results can happen. Like, it is what it is. It's the first season. It's within the first 10 games. Like, it's just one of them things. And I went to the game with my brother, to be fair, and it was bad. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, it was just like, no, it was terrible. It was absolutely shocking. But on the other hand, I know how good these players are, and I know how good already Slot has been. So it's just one of them. Like, I think the problem is Klopp gave us that feeling of invincibility, especially at Anfield. So now whenever we don't win at home, it's like the end of the world all of a sudden. Well, most teams probably lose 3, 4, 5 times at home during a season, so we shouldn't really, look too deep into it.
And that Virgil's only 3rd loss in the Premier League at home as well.
Yeah. Anfield,
we talked about this as well, me and you, Jamie, and I think as a true fan, like all season long, would you rather lose at the start of the season than at the end of the season when you like really, really need that win? Like, at least he's got that one over now, and he knows, hang on a minute, maybe I can't play all those lads after internationals, because we've got 2 more international breaks coming up towards this season. So he's learned his lesson now, and the next international break, you guarantee that McAllister's going to be on the bench.
Yeah, play Chelsea straight after the next international break on Sunday.
He won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, so
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. I've just had a look at the Wolves' defence. So if Dawson's out and Gomez is out, their other centre backs are Jason Mosquera, whoever he is.
He's out. He's out with an ACL.
Is he? Santiago Bueno, Bastian Mapepu, and Alfie Pond. I'd love it if Alfie Pond plays, just because of the name.
Oh, well, I said, like, you can see it now. He makes his debut, and he has a blinder, and we don't win. You can see it.
Could you imagine? No, I think.
I think his old haunts as well.
Yeah,
as a striker, as the main.
So
striker.
Let's talk about that. Who starts in the number 9 tomorrow, guys? Because obviously Darwin has started the last the last 2 games.
Jota, she's Austria against his former club.
Yeah, Jota starts because I thought Darwin was good against Bournemouth. I thought he had an all-round good game. Obviously scored a good goal. But then I thought he was very quiet against West Ham. And Jota came alive. Do you think Jota gets a nod again, Ben, in that number 9 area?
Yeah, I do. I think, like I said before, I think he needed that West Ham game to sort of give him a kick up the backside, because I think he scored in the first game or second game, and he's not really done much since. And he needed a reminder as well, like there is competition here. It's not just going to be an easy ride for you. I think those tough away games, let's say tough, we don't know if it's going to be tough, but Jota usually is the one that I've seen Trent links up with him all the time, puts balls into him, and I think those two just sort of get each other. They know like where they need to be and stuff. So I think Núñez at the minute still sort of maybe, like you say, a bit hot and cold. I'd still probably just for now keep him on the bench, maybe bring him on 60th minute if you need to change something up. And I love Núñez, but yeah, I think the front three that's been starting the season should be the front three that starts. And then it's harsh because like Gakpo came in and did so well the other night, but at the end of the day, only three can start. So what do you do? But yeah, for me, Jota starts. But James, just a quick one. I've got a shoot, mate. So
no way, Ben. Appreciate coming on, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. I'll see you soon, man. See you soon. We go roundhouse on Jota, guys. Everyone think Jota will start?
Yeah, Jota for me starts.
Interesting thing about Jota as well. He had 2 shots and 2 touches in the box and scored.
That's what he does, though. That's Jota at his best.
He had less than 20 touches in that game. Núñez had less than 30. Núñez did not.
That's almost like an early Haaland performance.
But that's what you want. I don't care if my striker has 2 touches as long as he scores with both. That's what you want, ain't it? I mean, that header for let's face it, was a Chiesa shot. It go down to an assist, but it's a Chiesa shot with a bicycle volley. See how high he jumped? The man's 5 foot.
He did Max Kilman.
Yeah. And Max Kilman's big lad.
He's about 6'8" or something.
And like Jota's like 5'7" or whatever it is. He's not a big lad. He's and then obviously his second goal that was beautifully set up by Curtis Jones, side foot in the corner. That's Jota at his best. But if he leapt like a fish, if I don't want to say it because people come at me, but I'm going to say it. If Jota does start this game, do we start to worry a little bit about Darwin under Arne Slot?
Ask me in January. I think if we're still having this conversation,
go first.
That's when I think we'll worry. I think because I think there's question marks on quite a few players. It's obvious who he doesn't rate because they've not seen the bench. You know, he doesn't like Endo. I think Endo's one that stands out. Doesn't like Tyler Morton much because we just saw him the other day. And yes, he has spoke nicely of Núñez because he's not obviously going to slag him off. But if he's a bit like starts one game here, don't really see him for a little bit, and we're talking about it in January, then pack your bags, son. I think you're leaving. No, I think he's got this season anyway. I think he's going to go. For me, I think he'll go next summer. I don't think Slot's going to give him the time to prove himself because even said it in the Bournemouth post match when he shot. I was like, why is he shooting?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it was like I was annoyed. He said I was annoyed, and then I went, "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah,
I bet he was still annoyed.
But he was
still annoyed
because if it didn't come, because he had so much room. Because Slot basically said he had so much room to run into. He could have had a simpler finish, running into that room, or could find a pass. And I'm not worried about it. Like people don't get me wrong. I want Darwin to succeed at Liverpool. We all do. I just feel like he had his chance. He got it. He then kept his place and played against West Ham. Was extremely quiet. And then you see Jota being clinical in front of goal. And if Jota then plays again, that does dent Darwin's confidence a little bit. It will do. It will dent anyone's confidence. But then that's up to the manager to talk to him, settle him, go, look, don't worry about it. I'm just going with Jota for this game. You got the next. And keep it chilled. And he should be all right. But yeah, Jota at the moment looks like he's his number one striker. As well as Gakpo performed in midweek. As well as Gakpo performed midweek, I think Diaz comes back in, guys. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely. I think Gakpo will probably start the Champions League game.
Yeah, there's plenty of games. Like Slot said it in his press conference today. Like there's loads of games for people to play. Like there shouldn't be any issues around the squad. Like there's plenty of games, and they're coming thick and fast. And I mean Diaz, 11 shots, 5 goals. And it was funny as well because he got asked today about his goals, and he got told he scored 8 last season, and he goes, "That's all right, that." And then he went, "Oh, hang on, did he play every game?" And they said, "Yeah," and he went, "No, I want more than that."
Yeah, it's because
that was Slot saying, "I want more than that."
It's because of Diaz. I saw that. And it's because what he's basically saying is Diaz is a quality player. So he's basically demanding, like, I want more. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's encouraging him. Diaz has already come out today. His comments today talking about Slot is really nice as well. It's really good. So it's obviously a good.
I just wanted to touch on what you were speaking about with Ben earlier, because I was watching it about about like how players are talking highly of him, and I do think if things weren't going well, I think you would have seen a conclusion of one of the 3 contracts with them saying we're not signing, we're leaving. If they were that unhappy, I do think we would have heard by now that one of the 3 have decided that, we're not signing, don't bother talking to us, because we either want to go in January or go in the summer. So I think the fact is that all 3 of their priorities are to stay at Liverpool, shows that things behind the scenes and in training have gone well for them to all still want to stay here after Klopp.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Wow, that's a bit harsh.
You're talking shit. You know what? You're talking shit, son. Get the fuck out of here, real McCoy. Shut the fuck up. You're talking shit. You're talking shit.
What? Real McCoy, let me know what we're talking bad about, man, and we'll read out your comments, my friend. If you can give some reasons why.
Context of the shit talking, please.
Just give us some context. Give us some context, man. Give us some context.
I haven't spoken, so it's not me.
We are
probably me.
It's usually me.
Give us some context, my friend. Give us some context. So all for as long as people come back with context with what they're going to say, then I'm cool with it, man.
So
I'm cool with it.
I don't even know whether I want to actually add anything onto that now. But I actually feel there's only one contract which isn't in our hands, and that's Trent. I think all the others are in our hands. I think if they get renewed, then that's our choice. Like I genuinely believe that it's up to us whether we want to renew Salah or Virgil van Dijk now. And
it looks
I'm not going to comment on it. But I think Trent is the one which actually isn't in our hands anymore. So it's whether it works with him. But it was really interesting listening to what he had to say, which was a massive dig at Klopp, no matter how you want to put it. Basically saying it's really good working with Slot because he tells me that I need to defend. And he challenges me, and I'm like, what? So you can never be challenged.
Yeah, that Trent right back stuff. Do you know what it is? I don't know what I took from it is that he's told Trent he's going to be a conventional right back, and because he's going to be a conventional right back, and he isn't asking, because he's not really asked Trent so far this season to bomb forward and do what he does. So he's making him more of a conventional right back, and because of that, he's basically giving him pointers where he wants to be on the pitch and not be high, not too deep, be here, be there. And I think that's what's helping out his game as well. But, I have said before, Trent was getting cooked a lot of times, and we always said, what we doing in training? Are we happy with this happening? I think it's just the football we played. Klopp was always willing to take that risk, and have that risk to get the better reward out of certain players. And he was always welcome to take that risk. And look, it did pay off a lot of the time. So I'm not going to argue about it. But, it's just, Trent made that comment and no one came for him. Curtis made that comment in pre-season. Everyone come for him.
Everyone came for him.
So, look, I just like the fact, like Luke said as well, I like the fact that the players seem very happy under Arne Slot at the moment. And they're enjoying the football they're playing. And they're obviously seeing differences in training and things that are going to happen on the pitch that we're going to see more of in the future. So it's a good time. But look, we think our front three will be, so we're all going Salah, Diaz, Jota for the game Saturday, yeah? That front three? Original front three?
Yeah.
All right. Midfield, I shake it. Gravenberch, like he never was in the squad on Wednesday, so he's back in.
Yeah.
McAllister was like, that's not going to change.
No.
Let's talk about Ali Becker. So obviously today, Slot said Allison was in training yesterday. He's training today. Does he put Allison back in, or does he give Kelleher just one more game and get Allison
doesn't put him back in?
And Allison comes back for Champions League.
I hope he doesn't put him back in. I hope he doesn't put him back in for the Champions League game as well. By the way, I hope he just gives him a little bit more time because we've been burnt by bringing him back too soon, like probably 3 or 4 times now, like quick succession, reoccurring injury, and he also looks a little bit shaky when he comes back in as of being out for a bit. But I'm fine with Big Kev. Like he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, that's the thing with Queeve is that when he plays, Luke, he just looks like a number 1 goalkeeper at the moment, don't he?
Yeah. It's just a shame that unfortunately for him, he'll never be number 1 at Liverpool. But yeah, I thought he came in. I thought he did well against West Ham. I don't think he really had much to do. Obviously, the own goal, I can't really blame him, to be honest, because it was a pinball around the box, and
it was an endo brain fart.
And it was more of an endo brain fart rather than the Kelleher mistake.
Like he's literally he literally looks that way and he can just kick the ball out of play.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm just going to whack it right across my own box.
Yeah, it was a weird one from Endo. I mean, that was the only thing. I thought Endo, apart from that, played pretty well.
Yeah, it was okay.
Wednesday. But yeah, that was weird. I mean, I don't blame Quansah for that own goal because he ain't expecting.
Yeah, plus he played extremely well against Bournemouth. I was very happy with his Bournemouth performance. So yeah, keep him in. I definitely think we have been burnt with rushing Allison back. But the fact that he's done a big Football Focus interview basically screams to me he's going to start.
Okay. All right, yeah, okay.
Because he did a thing with Joe Hart. So I think he's going to start.
We've got to remember we've got different doctors and physios and medical team this season as well. So
yeah, if it's the same thing, like if it is the same thing that is reoccurring, and this set of medical team decides that it's a good idea to rush him back, because let's be honest, we really should be beating Wolves with Kelleher in goal.
Oh yeah.
So we shouldn't really rush him back. Maybe if he's fit for the Champions League, for me, like you could easily tell him, "Hey, don't go to Brazil. We'll see you at Chelsea," and let him take a couple of weeks off. But obviously, he will go to Brazil. Which I think is more of the issue rather than, he picks him up at Liverpool. When he goes to Brazil, he always comes back, and then within like a game or two, he picks up an injury.
Yeah. That's a thing. Like this international duty is horrible, man. I fucking hate it. I really do. This is a good comment from Dustin. Is Dom guaranteed because playing the 4 attackers worked last game? I mean, is Dom guaranteed? Is Dom guaranteed?
Yeah.
I think he might be because of his work rate and running ability away from home. Yeah. You know, to get stuck in and stuff like that. So I think he'll play. But what I do like about Slot, on the hour, every game, takes wingers off and bring new wingers on. You know, he keeps it fresh.
Yeah, he's even subbing.
And anyone who's on 2 goals as well, you come.
Yeah, don't care about that. Don't care about that. You're on a hat trick. You're 60 minutes now. You're coming off. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, make sure.
I tell you what though. I bet you Jota was sat on the bench going, I really hope Gakpo doesn't get a third.
Yeah,
because he couldn't take him off, could he? Because that was he'd already made his subs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I look, I would basically, if it was me, maybe keep him rested, but I think the manager might bring him back in if he's fit to go. Robbo,
yes,
what
please.
What are we saying about please. Robbo? So Robbo come straight back in.
Yeah, watch Simicast, please sell Simicast.
I mean, I'm watching Simicast and I'm just like, oh my god, you're getting
worse. This guy is brain dead. I literally spoke to a guy at work who's a massive Liverpool fan. He's like, oh, I love Costa.
What was that thing he did in West Ham where he literally won the ball back, then ran all the way back, and then just like stood there and left it, and you're like, what on earth is what you doing?
Chucked his head,
that was
head at the ball like a prime Phil Jones. Remember when Phil Jones was being mean for just putting his head in the most awkward positions, trying to get the ball away? I was like, what's Costas doing? Yeah, please sell him. Please sell him. This guy is brain dead.
The thing about that, though, if you actually watch the replay, he does some kind of Jedi mind tricks on the striker when he does that, because the striker just stands there and loses the ball because he's like, what are you doing in front of me? Like, I've got a goal there to score, but I'm mesmerised by you doing an impression of a fish or a snake on the floor.
Yeah, Costas was good, but like,
Robbo.
Summer, please get rid. Please get rid.
Yeah, he's not good enough. Right, before we leave, score predictions, guys. Luke.
3-0.
3-0. Okay, Mac.
5.
5. Wow.
I think we'll end the weekend top of the league.
I'm going 1.
I was going to say 4, but I think we might do another 5.
3's the safe one for me. 3's the safe bet.
I'm going 1-0.
What? You need to elaborate on that.
No,
I'm going 1-0. End the
show. That's all right. No, I think we'll get the win. Wolves, they might have been playing well in parts and feel hard done by in parts of their game. I look at the Chelsea game. I don't think there was 6-2 loss there. I think they were actually in the game in the first half. Caused Chelsea a lot of problems. The problem with Wolves, they just can't defend. They are so leaky at the back, and we've got too many attacking players on form right now. It's very hard keeping everyone in our team quiet, home or away. I mean, Nottingham Forest did it, to be fair, but I don't see Wolves playing an extreme low block at home. I don't think their manager's that kind of manager. He'll want to try and play and, put his stamp on the game. So because of that, I think it's an easy day for Liverpool. I think Liverpool win 4-0. I think Diaz will get 2. I think Diaz will get 2 goals again. I think he's just on fire, man. We got Solo in chat. I think he's just on fire right now. But guys, listen, we're out of here. As you see there, everyone's channels are on the screen right there. So go and subscribe to everyone, guys. I'd appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. I'll be back tomorrow for the watch along around 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the Liverpool Wolves game. So make sure you join us tomorrow for the watch along. And guys, I'll be on Luke's channel tonight. Luke, tell them where to go.
Yeah. So go to my channel, Luke Tanner. We'll be talking about is John Jones, the MMA's Michael's Jordan, and also talking about Jorge Masvidal making his UFC return next year. So we'll be discussing that.
So go to Luke Tanner's channel, guys. Put Luke Tanner in your
UFC
YouTube.
Fighter, John Jones.
Yeah.
Is he British?
No,
American.
I've met him. I met him in an after party after what's it called? Is it called Perolator or what's that called? Detonator or something like that? The one they have in Wembley.
And you survived.
What's
it called? What's it called? The
strongman thing that he was at?
No, they had a wrestling event a couple of years ago. Oh, not wrestling. MMA fight in Wembley, the Wembley Arena, and I went to an after party, and he was. I went to the actual event as well, but I went to an after party, and he was there, and I met him. John Jones, yeah, it was John Jones, yeah, American, yeah, Bellator, that was it, Bellator. Someone's just put it in the chat.
Oh yes,
I'm not into any of that stuff. Sorry, so I'm talking like I'm not. I don't know anything, so I went there because my mate.
We were at one a couple of years ago.
Got tickets.
It was one a couple of years ago when MVP was fighting.
Wow!
Yeah,
wow!
A couple of years ago, he was there.
Yeah. And the fact K-Mac survived is wow. Well done, K-Mac.
You know what, intact as well.
Do you want to know what's really funny? I probably said something that probably should have got me punched. So I watched the entire fight, and like there was no there was no real fighting. It was just like they were just grabbing each other and stuff. And I was expecting like the drop kicks and all of that crazy stuff and knockouts and that.
Oh,
And
you were at the Michael Vernon Page fight.
He had a bruise on his eye, and I was like, "How did you get that?" And he was like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Well, you didn't get it in that fight, did you?"
No, I know who.
I'd had a few beers. I'd had a few beers.
I think I know who you're talking about. I think you're talking about Michael Vernon Page because he got hugged to death.
It wasn't him.
No, it was Michael Vernon Page.
Okay.
You're talking about him versus Storley at the OVO because me and Callum went.
Yeah.
To watch
and there was no
we
knockouts.
booed him out of the building.
The whole tournament, yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. That's mad. Right, guys. On that note, we're out of here. I'm going for my dinner. Guys, I'll see you at 11 on Luke's channel. Bye for now. See you later.